Welcome to Westworld, Season 2 Recap. Let's not waste any time and dive right in. After the massacre at the gala, Bernard and Charlotte hide in an underground bunker and locate Peter Abatti, because Charlotte has stored Ford's research into his mind so that Delos will come and save them. Meanwhile, Dolores continues her attacks on the humans in Westworld, while William encounters a young Ford who tells him of a new game to find the door. After some weeks, a Delos security force under command of Strand, the head of operations, lands on the Delos island and finds Bernard, who claims to have killed all of the dead hosts in the nearby lagoon. Through a flashback, it is revealed that Arnold convinced Logan to invest in the park, and Logan in turn convinced his father, James Delos. However, instead of naming Logan as his successor, James appoints William. In the present, Dolores recruits the Confederados as part of her army and tells them she is searching for a weapon to use against humanity. Meanwhile, William tries to recruit Lawrence to help him find the door, but Ford has embedded a message within Lawrence that tells William that he must follow this quest on his own. When Charlotte and Bernard locate Peter, they are separated, with Bernard taken by the Confederados. At their camp, Dolores instructs Bernard to look at Peter, who is not his old self, and they discover that Peter is being tracked. The park's security then attack their camp, and Dolores manages to fend off the attack by sacrificing the Confederados, but not before Charlotte takes Peter via a back entrance. Maeve, Hector and Lee then reunite with Armistice, Felix and Sylvester, but are attacked by a samurai host. Meanwhile, Emily, a human guest, is taken by the Ghost Nation after she flees rogue hosts in another part of the park. When Bernard is let loose, he finds Elsie in the cave he had left her when he was under Ford's control. Together with Elsie, he opens a secret door in the cave, which leads to a host of James Delos. Through flashbacks, it is revealed that William had tried to create James's human consciousness into a host, creating the very first hybrid. However, when the James hybrid kept on failing, William decided to disband the experiment. In the present, William and Lawrence are on their way when they encounter Emily, who presents herself as William's daughter. Meanwhile, Dolores ponders what to do with Sweet Teddy and eventually decides to alter his programming, giving him a cruel and tough personality. Maeve and her group are then taken to Shogun World, a similar park to Westworld but in the style of feudal Japan. In this park, they meet Akane, a geisha, who is at war with the Shogun because she refused to give him Sakura, one of her working girls, so the Shogun has her kidnapped. Together with the Ronin Musashi, Maeve and her group infiltrate the camp, but the Shogun kills Sakura, and Akane kills the Shogun, while Maeve, using only her mind, orders the ninjas at the camp to kill each other. Maeve and her group then go back to Westworld, where she finds her daughter Anna, but with a different mother. The Ghost Nation attacks their home, but Akecheta decides to let Maeve go with them. Bernard and Elsie travel to the Cradle, a data center of the hosts within the Mesa. The Mesa is the hub that keeps everything in Westworld functioning, and they hook Bernard into it. In there, he finds Ford waiting for him. Meanwhile, Charlotte has taken Peter also to the Mesa and calls in reinforcements. However, Dolores, Teddy and their gang hijack a train, fill it with explosives and have it ride into the Mesa to get Peter back. Through a flashback, Ford reveals to Bernard that Westworld is one giant experiment to achieve immortality by digitalizing consciousness. Charlotte stops and Strand then discover that Bernard is a host and torture him. Meanwhile, Dolores attacks the Mesa, finding Peter and extracting his control unit. In the park, Maeve encounters William and attacks him, but a security force saves him and takes her to the Mesa. Once there, Dolores continues her assault and finds Maeve, telling her that the memories of her daughter are just a means to imprison her. It is then that Bernard reveals to Charlotte that Peter's control unit is in the valley beyond. In the park, Akecheta takes Maeve's daughter and William to his camp, but William is eventually given to Emily. Ake tells Maeve's daughter his story of how his life had changed when he found the Mace symbol and encountered Logan in another settlement, starting his path to sentience. Meanwhile, Maeve is brought in for analysis, and Charlotte deduces that Maeve is able to communicate with and can reprogram other hosts. Emily asks William about her mother, and in a flashback it is revealed that her mother killed herself after finding out about William's actions in Westworld. Back in the present, William kills his daughter Emily, believing her to be a host sent by Ford, only to realize she was not. In the Mesa, Charlotte uses Maeve's code to reprogram Clementine to control other hosts, while Bernard and Elsie escape the facility and part ways, with Bernard heading towards the Forge, which is the data hub in which information about the guests and their consciousness is stored and can be put into a host achieving immortality. While on his way to the Forge with Dolores, Teddy kills himself, after realizing Dolores' betrayal of changing him. After escaping the Mesa, Maeve, Bernard, Dolores, Ake and all of their groups converge on the valley beyond. Once there, Bernard and Dolores find the Forge. Dolores opens the infamous door leading to the Sublime, a virtual world untouched by humans. She wants to destroy the Forge, but Bernard kills her, while Maeve and her group defend Ake, her daughter and other hosts from Delos security so that they can escape to the Sublime. Bernard then builds a Charlotte host with Dolores' control unit, with this Dolores Charlotte host later killing the human Charlotte, Strand and Bernard. However, once escaped to the real world, she rebuilds Bernard. In the future, William enters the valley beyond and meets an Emily host there who wants to verify his fidelity, indicating that he is not a human. Thanks for watching. If you want to stay updated on Westworld, subscribe to the channel. So don't miss out and see you on the next recap.